Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mickeeva if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my goals for the new year. I've done a video like this on my channel for the past 2 years, so I couldn't miss another year, but in this video it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be mostly goals relating to art, since that's mostly what my channel is about these days. So I'm going to be sharing with you my art goals for the year, and also sharing with you any tips and advice that I've received that I feel like I can pass on to you if you're an aspiring artist just like me, and also take you into my Notion to show you how I'm going to keep track of the goals that I'm making this year. So let's get started. So the first tip that I'm going to share is all about finding your art style. And if you're an aspiring artist, you've probably done your fair share of searching in the YouTube search bar. How do I find my art style? Because literally it's just something that every aspiring artist is like eager to find. You know, you want to find your artistic voice, you want to find what it is that you like to make art about. And one thing that artists always say about finding your art style is that it's something that takes years and years to develop. And if you're impatient like me, you've probably thought like, well, that's a bummer. So one thing that has really helped me a lot lately is kind of switching my mindset from trying to find my art style to asking myself the question, what it is that I like to make art about. You know, what do I like? What am I naturally drawn to? Because when you find what you like to draw or paint, naturally your art style begins to evolve. So for example, the other day I recently found a new corner of Instagram all about food illustrations and food art. And I remember thinking like, this is so cool, like I want to try this. So one day I painted with gouache some dangos, and for some reason something in my brain just clicked, and I think it's because I genuinely found something that I like, and also that I'm good at painting. And I feel like when you find the things that you actually enjoy making and enjoy painting or drawing, then practicing your art won't feel like a chore. It will actually feel like something that you're excited to do. And so when it comes to finding your art style, I feel like it's in between those two things of knowing what you like and also practice. And then another thing that I feel like has helped me is literally allowing myself to try anything that I want, like any mediums, any techniques, anything. Because I feel like when you're in the beginning phase, you just want to explore. Like, don't limit yourself, just go crazy, just do what you want, because within that process of trying new things is where you're going to learn about your art style. So my next tip is to know your mediums. So I'm gonna be honest here. The first time that I bought my gouache set from Ardex, I didn't really know what gouache was. You know, I had only seen it in people's videos, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to try for myself. And the first time that I used it, I remember being so confused. And because of that, my gouache set literally just sat there for months without me using it. And I feel like all of that could have been avoided if I had just taken the time to research the medium and literally just type in Google, what is gouache? How do you use it? You know, and I feel like that would have saved me so much frustration. So my biggest tip is to just research whatever medium you are using for the first time. So for example, by researching gouache, I was able to learn like, oh, gouache is water soluble. So I have to be careful when I layer, because if I have too much water in my brush, it will reactivate the paint on the previous layer. Or that if I leave gouache on my palette and it dries, no worries, I can just spray it with water and reactivate it. But by doing research, you will also know like this is not the same for acrylic. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you research and you kind of know about the medium you're using, you just save yourself so much time and frustration. And then kind of going along with knowing your mediums, I will say like watch as much tutorials about it as possible, Recently, I found so many good videos on YouTube about how to use gouache that really helped me. And if I hadn't watched those videos, I wouldn't have been as educated about the medium itself. I'm just going to do you guys a huge favor, and I will leave some of my favorite gouache or art tutorials down in the description, and hopefully they help you guys. Alright, now that I've shared my tips with you guys, I'm just going to go right into my goals for 2022. So I'm calling these my artist resolutions. So the first one that I have is to make colorful and vibrant art. So I remember when I first started art, I literally stayed away from color. I was like, I don't really like color. I'm not a very colorful person. And I was wrong. I don't know what happened, but this summer I fell in love with color, and I realize now that I'm more drawn to very colorful and vibrant art. I just like that it makes me feel so just joyful and happy, and that's how I want people to feel like when they look at my art. So number one is to make vibrant and colorful art. And then number two is to be consistent on YouTube. I really want to try and post at least 2 videos a month, and you guys hold me accountable to that one. But it's really hard to balance YouTube when I have a lot of studio work to do for my classes, so I will try my best to reach this goal this year. And then my third resolution is to do more sketchbooking. So I really love sketchbooking. I really like sketchbooking art, and also I love following accounts on Instagram where they just share their sketchbooks and show their artworks. And I kind of talked about this in one of my videos, but I think a lot of times when you have a sketchbook, you have this pressure to make it all perfect and neat and organized, and you don't give yourself like room to just play around and make ugly or bad art, you know, because we're so like focused on it being like good. But I think the purpose that I want to keep in mind when having a sketchbook is that I want it to be a place of pure experimentation and just expression, and I don't have to share it on social media if I don't want to. It's just my safe place to just get the things that's in my head onto paper in a creative and fun way. And number 4 is to practice traditional art, which I never thought that I would want to do traditional art, to be honest. Like, I started out with digital art, and then somewhere along the way things shifted, but this year I just want to focus on practicing traditional art and get better at it. And number 5 is to find art inspiration outside of Instagram. So I find a lot of inspiration on Instagram, but I would just love to be able to find inspiration for my art in real life. You know, like if I walk around a corner and see something that I think is really cool, like I just want to take a picture of it and do video references and just find inspiration around me and not just on social media. And then my next one is to record my art making. So this is mostly for YouTube purposes and also just to share my work on social media. So if I'm doing something, if I'm just making art, like I just want to train myself to record it anyways, which sometimes I like to create art without worrying about recording anything and turning on a camera, but sometimes it is beneficial to just record what I'm doing so that I have that footage. So record my art making is one of my goals. And then my last goal is to take breaks and take my time. So sometimes when I'm painting, I literally will paint for hours without taking a proper break, like stepping away from my table, eating something. You know, I usually have like a drink with me, but I just get so caught up in it that I don't take a good break, and I'm exhausted at the end of the day. So I feel like really training myself to take breaks, actual breaks, will just be healthier for me in the long run as an artist, and will just help me to create healthy boundaries in my practice. So now that I've shared my goals, I'm going to show you my Notion page. Every year I create just a little page on Notion, just kind of writing down like my vision for the year, my word for the year, and my goals for the year, stuff like that, you know, typical New Year's stuff. So I thought I would show you guys in case it gives you a little bit of inspiration on how you can just create a page like this for yourself so you can keep track of your goals this year. Okay, so welcome to my Notion page for 2022. At the top, I just have this word, my word for 2022, which I think is going to be progress. I don't know, I just kind of chose that word because I want to make progress in my art this year and just want to grow as an artist. So I thought progress was a fitting word for this year. But underneath that, I have my 2022 vision. I just kind of write down like how I want to feel this year, what I want to do, stuff like that. And underneath that, I have my artist resolutions. That's what I just write to you. A new addition to this page I got from Kelsey Rodriguez. I will link her video down below where she kind of set up this page and kind of talk about her mindset behind this page. But basically the year is broken up into quarters, and as you can see, other than quarter one, the rest are empty at the moment, because for me, when I set goals, I can't think too far ahead. And so when I get closer to that quarter, I will probably feel this out more. But at least for now, the first quarter of the year, my two goals are to build up a portfolio of artwork on social media and research art business / online shop. And so basically the idea behind this is you write down your goals, and then your task is what you are going to do to actually achieve that goal. So these tasks are going to help me to achieve this one. So I have to practice more with gouache and other traditional mediums, find creative ways to post art on Instagram, make my first reel and shorts, and film real-time art and post on Instagram stories. So that will help me to reach that first goal. And then research art business, online shops. I'm probably just going to do research through looking at what other artists have done. That's kind of what it looks like. And then lastly, before I forget, I have this thing called a task list, and to be honest, I haven't really used it a lot, so I don't know if this is going to work for me. But I basically set up a task list for the month, and then I just have like a few to do or tasks that I want to do this month, and then I will just move them over just to keep progress of them. So I have film New Year's goals videos, so I'm doing this right now, so that will go over into the doing column. And then as soon as I'm finished with it, I will move it over to the done column, and then I move it into the no status column. That's kind of how I feel like I'm going to keep track of these goals on a monthly basis, not just quarterly basis. And then I will just add to the to-do list as the month progresses. So I feel like this way will kind of just help me to keep track of the tasks that I want to get done in a month. And then on a weekly basis, I have my to-do list set up, and I kind of have it set up broken up into two sections. I have like my academic section and my personal section, so all of those goals will most likely go under my personal section so that I can know what it is that I need to do that week. That's how I'm keeping track of this year on a quarterly basis in my 22 progress page, on a monthly basis in my task page, and on a weekly basis on my weekly to-do page. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It probably doesn't, I don't know, but hopefully you find that helpful. So thankfully I finished this video just as my camera battery is about to die. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Also, comment down below any of your artist resolutions that you have for 2022. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.